Okay, that was my audience. Get set up. And this is my visual aid. It's just a Word document. They're laughing at me. Okay. I'm getting set up. Imagine rising from a log cabin in the backwoods of Kentucky to become one of the most influential presidents in American history. This was the journey of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln's life was marked by humble beginnings, courageous leadership during one of the most divided times in American history, and the legacy that continues to shape the nation. This is important to you because understanding Lincoln's life helps us better appreciate the values of perseverance, equality, and leadership. The face of a national crisis, values that still matter in our lives today, communities, and country. Today we'll explore Abraham Lincoln's early life and political rise and examine presidency during the Civil War, and finally discuss his assassination and enduring legacy. Let's begin by looking at Abraham's early life and how he entered the world of politics. Abraham Lincoln was born in 1809 in a one-room cabin in Royal, Kentucky. He spent much of his youth doing hard manual labor on the frontier and had very little formal education. According to a presidential historian, Doris Kearns Goodwin, in her 2005 biography, Team of Rivals, Lincoln was largely self-educated. She explains that he taught himself law by borrowing books and reading late into the night. And he eventually became a successful lawyer and an Illinois state legislator. Although he only served one term in the U.S. House of Representatives, Lincoln's reputation grew after the 1858 Senate debates with Stephen Douglas. He became a national figure for his articulate stance against the expansion of slavery. Now that we looked at Lincoln's early life and political roots, let's examine how he led the country through its greatest crisis, the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln was elected president in 1860, and shortly after he was elected, several southern states seceded from the Union, which led to the start of the Civil War. Historian Eric Foner, in his 2010 Pulitzer Prize-winning book, The Ferry Trial, explains that Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation in 1863 transformed the Civil War from a fight to preserve the Union into a moral battle against slavery. Despite enormous and political military pressure, Lincoln held the Union together through a combination of military strategy, clear communication, and deep moral conviction. Now that we've discussed his leadership in the Civil War, let's turn to the tragic end of his life and the legacy he left behind. Just days after Robert E. Lee surrendered in April of 1865, ending the Civil War, Abraham was assassinated by a Confederate sympathizer, John Wilkes Booth, while he was attending a play at the Ford's Theater. Author James L. Swanson, in his 2006 historical account, Manhunt, The 12-Day Chase for Lincoln's Killer, described how Lincoln's death shocked the country and elevated him to the status of a national martyr for freedom and unity. Lincoln's legacy lives on through his leadership in abolishing slavery, his commitment to preserving the Union, and his powerful speeches, such as the Gettysburg Address, which continues to inspire Americans today. Now that you know about Abraham Lincoln's life, leadership, and legacy, let's wrap things up. Abraham Lincoln's life was shaped by humble beginnings, defined by courageous leadership during the national crisis, and remembered for a legacy that continues to influence the United States. Today we explored Lincoln's early life and political rise, his leadership through the Civil War, and his lasting impact on his assassination and legacy. Although he lived more than 150 years ago, Lincoln's values, honesty, perseverance, and equality and unity still guide the nation to challenge us to lead with purpose and integrity in our own lives.